What's up, everybody? It's Wandering Hippie, and welcome to the Hippie Circle. So, been getting a lot of requests in my email. Show people how to catch trout up here in St. Croix, in Michigan. And I think I've got it pretty much down, as you can see. Now, the method I'm going to teach you is not only going to catch your brown trout, it's going to catch every trout, like brook trout and tiger trout, all depending on the spots. And it's going to catch walleye and smallmouth bass, anything that hits a spoon pretty much. But I'm using the old 1/4 ounce narrow spoon, 1/0, on a Aurora 6 foot 3 inch with an Aspira 2500. I just love the Aspira reels. I don't know why. And what we're doing here is we're going to go here to fairy tale fishing on the peak. As you can see, I've only been fishing about, maybe 15 real life minutes, probably less than that. And I've gotten, all these fish. Just about every other cast has yielded a fish. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So first thing I do is I go to fairy tale fishing. I set my reel to the second reel speed down here. And what you want to do is you want to throw right along this blue line of this boat. All along this blue line right here is the trout. And we're going to stop and go this while keeping it in the middle of the water column. So what I mean by that is, let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Just throw it out there. Your lure, when you throw it out there, this right here is the water column, right? This is the bottom, this is the top. You want to try to keep it in the middle of this. So we'll whip it up off the bottom real quick and start our retrieve. As soon as I did that, I picked one up. Now, this is a bass. You can tell by the way he's fighting it's a bass. Actually, yeah, it's a bass. I think it's a bass at least. No, that's a trout. That's a good size, good size little trout. The reason I've got this number 10 is because this 10-pound rod is because they give you a good fight on it. And I'm at level 40, so I don't need to worry about leveling or anything. So I use the lightest equipment possible in order to catch these big giant trout. Now this is just one of the spots, but this is my favorite spot because it's on the dock here. Anyway, we're going to throw it back out there. And we're going to use a stop and go to keep it in the middle of the water column. So we're just going to start right here, reeling in about 4 or 5 feet at a time, just trying to keep it off the bottom. That's all you want to do, is just keep it off the bottom. Now you can use 3, but I personally don't like 3, and the fish don't seem to like 3 as far as a reel speed. And you do this stop and go all the way back to the dock, because I've had them hit right there. And that's all you do. And when you start to see, when you're reeling and you start to see something, you'll see some. Okay, well we got a hung up there. You see how we had some tension down there on the bottom of our gauges, and that's when you set the hook. And you got to be careful though with this, because once in a while you'll catch an Atlantic salmon, and you will know when you catch a salmon. Now this looks like a trout. This guy's fighting like a trout. Now you can use the half-ounce spinner with a 3/0 hook on it, but I've just found that more fish bite this purple spoon than bite spinners. And I've also found that this spot right here is just killer. This spot is just killer. I'm going to make one more cast. Now I've made 3 casts, caught 2 fish. You bring it in about 5-6 feet at a time. And when it gets on the bottom, you just want to try to get it off as quick as possible. Don't think I'm going to get one this cast. What you do is you keep several rods rigged up. Like I've got a rod with a little bit heavier spoon, but I've also got my rod with my spinner on over here, and we're just going to switch to it. This is an 1/8 ounce spinner, so it's going to sink a little slower. You just whip it out there just like that. Don't think I'm going to get anything on this spinner. But that's how you do it. 5-6 feet at a time. Let it stop for a split second. Just keep it in the middle of the water column. Just like that right there. Now you can do this with jigs, with a shad on them. You can do it with just about any of the lures. And it seems to work pretty well. But like I said, I found that this spoon here works best. Now, say you don't want to go after the trout. You just go around over here. You go right over here, cast at this buoy. You just cast at this buoy right here. With a little bit bigger spoon. The walleye are at this buoy. And I'll literally fish my whole day off this dock, fishing the peaks. And catch trout and walleye and bass. And then at the end of the day, when it's nighttime, if I don't have enough money, I will supplement with the catfish that you can catch off this dock, which I'm gonna do a video on them and do some night fishing a little later. That's pretty much it, fellas. That's how you do it. That's how you catch these trout, and that's how you start making money. a lot of people come up here for the a lot of people, they come up here and they go over here and they fish all up and down through here for the pike, and the pike give a lot of money per fish. But I think the best price per pound is probably for the walleye and the trout per pound. Now they don't get as big, so you're not gonna make as much money, but you can get more of them into your basket. So it's a trade-off. Do you catch more fish or do you catch bigger fish? But anyway, when you come up here to St. Croix, remember the first day you're probably going to do nothing but cover the travel costs with this right here. Unless you're really good at catching pike, all you're going to do is cover the travel costs. The second day is where you're going to make your money. So make it a point to stay 2 to 5 days. Try to time it for when you got a bunch of these days like this right here. A bunch of these cloudy days. It's like, I'm going to stay today, fish the night, start the day over, and then I'm going to fish all 3 of these days, and then I'm going to leave. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the water.